Hello, welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony, and this show is about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. It has been a crazy week, and I am happy that we are moving on, and we are on Thursday now, and the election is over with, so that's we can finally move forward. I want to talk today about measuring for success. I personally believe that so many voice actors are falling behind in their business because of really one big specific area. And you might not even think about this area, and that's why I think we're falling behind because of it. And that is measuring our actions. And because we measure those actions, right, the results then, we have control over them. This is such a key. I see a lot of voice actors, especially new ones, because they're learning, have a lot. I mean, we have so much to do. So what I want to do in this video is I kind of want to lay out some of those things that might be in the way and what you can do to measure your way to success in voiceover. Okay? So first thing, laying out what the problem is. Let's get that. So laying out what the problem is. I think that voiceover is, I don't know of many fields or careers or businesses that you go into where honestly a good portion of the people who go into it don't have any experience. Okay? I mean, doing that. And voiceover seems to be one of those fields, right? Now, all of us have experience with communications. We've communicated our whole life, but not in the form of presenting that communication a certain way, the way someone wants us to, aka acting, right? A lot of us are going into voiceover without any acting training, okay? And I think that that plays a significant role in the time, the stress, the imposter syndrome we feel. All right. So that's one thing that you have to deal with. So a big part of becoming a voice actor is becoming a better actor, a better storyteller. And remember, storytelling is how you approach everything from a 15-second radio spot, all right, or a 2-second tag to a 10-hour-long audiobook and everything in between, right? Storytelling is all of it. Okay, some are more commercial than others, but that's still storytelling. So that's one thing. So because of that, we have to focus so much of our energy on just becoming actors and taking acting training. And you have to do that. You have to, all right? In order to get better, in order to book work, you've got to become a better actor. So that's one thing. So that takes a lot of your time and energy. But there's there's multiple other components to this. The technical aspect, you've got to now be able to run also the engineering side of the business. You've got to know how to run all the equipment. You got to know how to set up your studio and the acoustics. You have to know how to run your DAW. You have to know how to edit and master and format and all of those different things. Okay? You have to navigate all of the, sites and websites that you have to learn and upload. So you have all of that you have to learn. That's all technical. That has nothing to do with acting. That's all the technical aspect. And again, the majority of us go into this with none of those skills. So that's another thing. But the third thing, all right, that most of us, I would say most of us, go into this with no real experience on is running a business. And more specifically, an online business. Because I've run businesses, right, that have been offline, right? And what I mean by offline is that they have, like, for example, right now I also have a trailer rental business, right, where I rent trailers. We have a couple trailers and I rent them. And that is, yes, of course we have a website and everything, but the point is that that's not, my transactions are not like voiceover. right? We have trailer. There's actual hard assets that are rented, they're moved, right? Deal with people face to face, etc. It's a different business, right? But this is an online business, what we do as voice actors, okay? And that is and we're navigating sometimes around the globe, okay, to people from different countries. So that's a whole nother thing, when it comes to taxes, when it comes to the difference between businesses and being an employee, okay? All of those the irregularity of payment, okay? This is an important thing too. When you are an employee, and I was an employee, I was a teacher for a period of my life, I got a steady paycheck every month at the same time each month. I got days off the same time each year. Everything, I was a teacher, so it's a pretty steady. But, typically when you're an employee, all right, and of a larger organization too, or somewhere like that, you get steady paychecks. There's never, right? You have insurance. You have, you've retirement, right? You're being contributed to your retirement. There's all sorts of things. Taxes a lot of time are taken care of for you. Like if you file 0 or something, the taxes are taken out. You don't even see them. So it's like out of sight, out of mind. Okay? But as a business owner, everything is right there. I mean, you have to manage it all. So the reason why I bring this up is not to scare anybody because it is well worth it. And as you know, as you're here watching, this is such a rewarding and a lifelong dream and pursuit. All right. And it's fantastic. But the reason why I bring all those things up is because it is a lot to learn, to manage, to grow. And I think, beat ourselves up a lot over why aren't we, why I've been doing this for a month and I'm just not seeing any results at all. I mean, how could you possibly think in a month you're going to see results? We have a lot to learn and do and grow. So I want to now go to what I'm talking about is measuring. All right. So just like anything that you do, unless you measure it, okay, and we compare and contrast those measurements, we will have no idea whether or not we are moving forward. Even an inch or a mile, we won't know. Okay? We won't know. Accuracy in your measurements is how you become better. So what do I mean by measurements? I love this book, right? It's called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. And I've talked about it throughout the years on this channel, but it became the core of my business and how I look at execution. And I think if you look at anybody who's successful, I'm not tooting my horn here. I'm just talking about successful people who are very successful. All right? They have a core belief of some form of execution and how they go about, right? It's like you almost get a winning formula. All right. And you keep that winning formula because once you get it, you can apply it over and over again. And to me, for my sake, this style of measurement of execution, all right, these disciplines, all right, as this book said, really helps me with that success. All right. And the first, part about, of course, this discipline is goal setting. Right, creating a single important goal, right? No more than 2 or 3 at the same time. So many of us have, and I do it like, we've got to-do lists, we've got tons of stuff that has to be done, but their main goals needs to be 1 or 2 at the most. Because if we are setting 20 goals all at one time and trying to accomplish all of them, right? The more, it's called diminishing returns. The more you try to accomplish, the less you actually get done. So that's an important, remember that. That's that in your life. All right. It's that catch-22. Okay. Work smarter, not harder. Okay. That's the first thing. But the second thing is getting into the measurement. What I'm talking about is I think we measure the wrong thing most of the time. Most of us measure how much money we make. And that measurement lags behind what actually causes us to make money. So meaning that at the end of the month, we look at our bank account or we look at the numbers that we have and we say, okay, you measure how much you made this month. So let's say you made $50 this month. You look at that measurement, you're like, okay, crap, I didn't make $5,000 this month. I made $50. Okay, or I spent $50, spent $500, right? You didn't make anything, or you didn't make very much. The problem is when you look at that measurement, okay, and I should point out again, as you hopefully are getting to the point here where you know not all measurements are the same, so we're going to talk about the wrong ones or the right ones. But when I measure that, we call it a lag measure because it lags behind actual actions that led to that measurement. Okay, so we are measuring in that case just what we made. But here's the problem with just taking that measurement. That's still a good measurement to take, but taking that measurement only allows us then to look at after the fact what randomly we did, how often we did it, blah, blah. We've not done any of that. We're just looking at the result and not the actual actions that led to the result. So logically, right, you think, okay, well, we need to step back and start to measure the actions. All right. So what we are measuring actions that we can manipulate, meaning we can actually control them ourselves, right? And two, that those actions lead to the outcome we are trying to get to, aka getting booked for work, right? Getting jobs, voiceover jobs. So those are the measurements, and we call those lead actions because they lead to that ending measurement, that lag measurement. That lag measurement lags behind the lead measurement, okay? So that's what we want to be focusing on, shifting our mindset to not that you're waiting to the end of the month or the end of the quarter to look at what we earned and say, crap, I got to do better. Instead, we are now going to measure lead measures, the actual actions that, one, we can affect the change, right? We can manipulate ourselves, and two, we know that they lead to the specific outcome that we're trying to get to, aka booking voiceover jobs. So what do I mean? Simple example, all right? How many auditions have you done today? So let's say this week, all right, or let's say I've set the important goal that in the next 6 months, all right, I want to start booking 3 to 5 jobs a week in voiceover. So that means at the 6-month mark, right? So I'm going to say something like, August of 2025. By August of 2025, I will book 3 jobs every single week for the rest of the year. Okay, that's a very specific goal that you have. Good. We want it to specific, and it should be said that way. The second part is, okay, well, now that I've got that goal, how do I actually determine, what I need to do to book 3 jobs per week? Okay, well, first I'm going to start with I need to remember our criteria, 2 things. First, it has to be something that I can do, that I can affect myself. Auditioning, I can affect that. I can do auditions physically. I can do them. So that's in my control, 1. 2, what do I need to do to that I know will have that outcome? Well, I know auditioning has the outcome of getting me booked. What I don't know is how many auditions I need to do in order to get booked 3 times a week, right? So this is where we start our journey. We set some goals. Now we're setting back. We're moving backwards, right? We're setting smaller goals to reach that large one. So I can say, okay, well, I just want to work Monday through Friday. I mean, you can work Monday through Sunday. You can work as much as you want. Okay, and I'm going to start with 5 auditions a day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to put down that I'm going to do 5 auditions a day. Okay, and on top of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure that I've done those 5 auditions a day. Okay, yes, now we're going to be more specific, like where you're going to audition, et cetera, et cetera. But again, we are just measuring now that you've done 5 auditions a day, right? And at the end of the week, we look at our, we measure that every single day at the end of the week to say, hey, did we hit our 25 auditions, right? Because we did 5 auditions a day for 5 days a week. Great, our 25 auditions. All right, then we go to the next week. We do the same thing. We do the same thing. All right, we give ourselves, and remember these, and by the way, this is kind of like almost a scientific method in here because we're testing out these things in order. But see, the point here is measuring it because if we don't measure, we won't know. So let's say, for example, you start getting 1 job a week and you are doing 25 auditions a week to get 1 job. You're like, okay, well, logically, you're like, okay, well, if I'm doing that, to get 2 jobs, do I need to double it? So now I'm going to do 10 auditions a day in order to get those jobs, right? 2 jobs a week. Then let's say you start doing 10 auditions a day. So now you're doing 50 auditions a week. And let's say after a couple months, all right, you say, okay, well, I'm going to do 3 months. I'm going to get this. Well, I'm going to give myself a couple months, right? Maybe 2 months to figure out because, we know a lot of times some of these results lag behind, right? All of a sudden you start to see that actually you're getting 3 to 4 jobs a week. So now you learn, okay, well, now I know that I'm measuring myself of doing 10 auditions a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm doing 50 auditions a week, 200 auditions a month. That is netting me 3 jobs a week, right? So 12 jobs a month. All right. I know that's how we need to be looking at this. And we're measuring those actions that we are taking. And then we measure, the lag measure is what happens at the end of the month, all right, or the end of the quarter, based off of the lead measurements that we're taking. I hope that this video has helped you out and got you kind of in the mindset of how to shift your thinking into measuring the right things and measuring yourself to success in voiceover. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about this and again, really get the training with acting and everything, because again, this is the measurements, but as we talked about all the acting and stuff, that plays a significant role in all of this because the better of an actor you are, the less auditioning you have to do to get work. Okay, the more challenging of an actor you are at the moment, right, the more you're going to have to do in order to get work. So you want to, for example, get some training. As always, check out the link below to Avio's Journey Elite Academy. We'd love to have you. We're offering 50% off the first month. We've got multiple acting classes live every week, script workouts every week. It's just a fantastic community as well. Check us out. We'd love to have you. You guys are wonderful. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.